Hey everybody, it's your girl Nell, and welcome to Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here today in the Tiny Studio. What am I doing today? Well, I am crocheting. And I will be chatting. So this is Crocheting with Nell, and we're also going to be doing a little chatting today. How are you doing this beautiful Wednesday? I hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday, because I am having a groovy Wednesday. And whenever I'm crocheting, it's always a good time. So what have you been up to? As I said, I am crocheting again. Yes, I am. And I'm behind. There's so many things that I am supposed to be doing, but I'm not doing as far as with my business is concerned. But I'm not going to beat myself up about it, because we all know that you are where you are supposed to be. And that is something that I have to always tell myself, remind myself that I am where I am supposed to be. Right? So no regrets, no remorse, no looking back. It's always looking forward and appreciating the moment that we are in. Right. So today, while we're chatting, I am going to be crocheting. Now, if you are a returning guest, Tiny Studio guest, then of course you will remember this project. And this is called the Baked Sweet Potato Afghan. And you may say, why? Or if you're new to the channel, you may say, why, Nell, did you name this Afghan baked sweet potatoes? Because that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of a delicious sweet potato. Yum. A delicious baked sweet potato. And so, what are the ingredients of a delicious baked sweet potato? The same ingredients that goes into making a delicious sweet potato pie. You have your sweet potatoes. So there's the sweet potatoes in the middle. Sweet potatoes. You have brown sugar. And then you have cinnamon. And then you can top it if you're eating a sweet potato pie, or if you're having a sweet potato pie, of course you could top it with some whipped cream. Or if you're having candied yams or baked sweet potatoes, you can also top it with marshmallows. And then what else goes into a baked sweet potato? Butter. And then you have some nutmeg. And of course you have more brown sugar, whipped cream, baby potato. You get the premise. That is why this project is called the Baked Sweet Potato Afghan. So it's a little larger than it was the last time I showed you guys, but I put it away I started working on it for about 7-8 months or so, and I've been looking at it and I've been saying I need to get back to it, but I haven't. Now, the first time this project debuted was, I want to say last year, maybe around September, October, somewhere in there. That's where I debuted this project, and I was supposed to have it finished by Thanksgiving of last year. Of course, we all know that did not happen, but that's okay, because everything is on schedule the way it's supposed to be. So anyhow, I picked up this project, let me see, maybe about a month ago, and I only worked on maybe a row, and that was it. And then I stashed my yarn, the Lions brand yarn of the it's a line called Hues that I really like, and that is what this brown yarn, or these different shades of brown. This is the Lion brand Hues yarn. I just love the different colors of brown that comprises the Hue line by Lion brand. And I couldn't find my yarn. And I was like, I know I purchased a whole bunch of the Lion brand Hues yarn because I was just obsessed with it. I still am. And I couldn't find it. And so I stopped once again. I said, well, let me just move on. Fine. And you know, I tried to move on, but something in me was like, no, find that yarn. Now find that yarn, because I was like this close to ordering some more and I couldn't find it. And I'm guessing it wasn't meant for me to find at that time, because I would have had it, or I would have had I found the yarn that I was looking for, this particular brand online, I would have bought maybe about 6 or 7 more skeins of it. And guess what? I found the yarn. It was stashed in one of my my big yarn totes, but had I went ahead and bought that yarn, I would have a stockpile of brown yarn. And I have a tiny studio. I don't have a lot of space to be stockpiling yarn. So I was glad that the universe smiled upon me and told me, look girl, hold your horses, do not press confirm payment now, don't do it. And fortunate for me, like I said, I found the yarn, and I am so happy that I did, because I'm like, okay, so after I complete these 2 rows of whipped cream or marshmallow goodness, then I can get back and complete the job. So I'm hoping that within the next week or so I'll have this Afghan completed. And I need to run to the post office because there is a package that was supposed to be sent a long time ago that I have yet to send, and I need to get that done. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just sitting excuse me, it's just sitting in the dining room, just looking cute. And well, you may say, how can a package look cute? It's because I know what's inside of it. But I need to get it out of here because one of my children thought it was trash and almost tossed it. So that was a reminder that I need to I need to mail this Afghan or that package off. And it has a beautiful Afghan in it. And I believe that the Afghan that's inside is the Crayola crayon Afghan. I believe that's the one. Yeah, I don't see it up there, so that is the one that I'll be mailing. I'm going to get that done. And you know what? I'm just going to do it tomorrow. I will get her done tomorrow. What else is going on? I have other projects that I have sitting here in a tiny studio that needs to be worked on, but I decided that what I'm going to do is the projects that I have that are near completion, I'm just going to work on that. And this project, oh child, I've been working on this project for 2 years. If you are new, I am drinking and this is my husband's mug. It has Captain America on it. I am drinking turmeric tea. I found a really good organic turmeric tea at my local health food store, and I purchased it. It was on sale for $8.99, I think. It was like this buy one get one half off. So I was able to buy the turmeric and some ginger tea. Now I usually make ginger tea myself. I usually use ginger, cut some ginger up, put it into my teapot. I have like one of those tea kettles that you can put your tea leaves in, and then just let it do its thing, put the water in, and then you just let it boil and steep and all that good stuff. So I usually do that with my ginger, but it was on sale. So I went ahead and got the ginger tea on the off chance that, you know, whoever may want some ginger tea can be able to just pull the bag down and use it. But anyhow, yes, this project is about 2 years old. I remember when I started this project. Is it 2 years? I'm not sure. I think it has been 2 years. At least a year and a half, because I'm trying to think. I think this Afghan has made 2 appearances on this channel. I think the first time was when I did a yarn haul. And in that yarn haul were the skeins of yarn that comprises this Afghan. So I really do think so. I think this blanket is about a year and a half old. So I just thought that the oranges and the gold and the browns, I just felt that they all look so great together. And I am a foodie, so of course all of those colors reminded me of fall. They reminded me of Thanksgiving. And they really reminded me of sweet potatoes, baked sweet potatoes, hence the name. And I began to craft this Afghan on the premise of baked sweet potatoes. So I don't know, maybe I should come up with a pattern for it. What do you think? So anyhow, I'm drinking turmeric tea because turmeric is good for your joints or joint pain and for arthritis. And I have a little arthritis going. So I am not in my hands, but in my feet. So I am drinking turmeric tea. And I'm looking for any type of alternative to just taking painkillers, because painkillers, are not really good, and they have, excuse me, done a number on my kidneys, unfortunately. And that's due to the fact that I had, Lord knows, I don't even like talking about this, but I was in a car accident. I was hit by a tractor, and I had very, very severe damage done to my back, and it culminated in emergency back surgery. So for about 3 or 4 years, well, let me think about that. I got into that accident in 2014, and I eventually had emergency surgery in 2019. So about 5 years 4 to 5 years I have been dealing with in tremendous pain. I have been getting shots in my back, and it was like a progressive thing, because the first year or so after the accident, I had pain, but as time progressed, that pain became just super intense. It was just very, very intense, and it was bad. And eventually two of my discs crumbled, it was it was just a bad scene. I really don't like talking about it, as you can see, because that pain was horrible. And so I was on a lot of pain medication. I was getting shots in my back. It was like so painkillers did a number on my kidneys. So I try my best to stay away from painkillers, and I like to find natural remedies. So turmeric tea is what I've been drinking. I used to take the turmeric in capsule form. So now I'm just drinking it straight with tea. And I have to say, I have noticed that when I feel arthritis pain beginning in my feet, when I drink turmeric tea, that within a day or so, the symptoms have calmed down. The swelling, the inflammation, all of that stuff is calmed down. So turmeric for the win. I heard that there is also another organic or natural remedy for arthritis, and I think it's called capsaicin. It's something that comes, a chemical that comes from cayenne pepper, and I have heard that works really well for arthritis. So what I'm working on, this project is a granny square Afghan, because I am literally obsessed with granny squares. Well, I shouldn't say obsessed, because it's been a while since I worked on anything, so obviously I'm not obsessed, right? But I love working with granny squares, and I love turning granny squares into giant Afghans. And this will be my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This will be my 8th granny square Afghan, and I just love it. I love the simplicity of it, but what I also love is the fact that I love making that cluster stitch. And what is the cluster stitch? The double crochet cluster really is what I'm talking about, and I'm going to show you what I mean in a second. I'm going to demonstrate it for you. So it starts off like this. Okay, so we're going to do a double crochet. So double crochet means we already have one loop on the hook. We make another one. We're going to go into the space, grab the yarn. Now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over. We're going to pull the yarn through the first 2 loops. Then we have 2 left on the hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. And that's your first double crochet. And then we will be making 2 consecutive double crochets, and then that's how you get the double crochet cluster. And of course, this started with just a simple granny square, and then it turned into this giant Afghan. Well, I don't want to say it's a giant Afghan. I would say it's a lapghan. And I so enjoy making lapghans. But I'm thinking about getting back into making just my usual king size Afghans. I've made several of those. Simply for the fact that I just enjoy crocheting. I enjoy crocheting very, very much. But anyhow, if you are watching and you've watched my videos on my coach videos, I got a surprise for y'all. I got a surprise. I got a really big surprise for y'all. I do. I can't wait. I can't wait till it arrives, because when it arrives, it's gonna be party time up in the tiny studio. I'm trying to tell you. Yes, it will. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm kind of hungry, so I have a banana. Banana has potassium in it, and recently my doctor informed me that I am a little deficient on the potassium. So I made some fruit packages because I do a lot of juicing and I make smoothies too, and I added some bananas to the fruit packages that I made or prepared for juicing and smoothies, and I put them in the freezer. And I've been juicing and making smoothies a lot because, if you haven't already noticed, I'm on a weight loss journey, and I've been losing a lot of weight, and I'm guessing that within the last year I've lost about 70 pounds. You could probably see it in my face because everything is just small. Small, there's my neck, but I still have a long way to go. And I've been juicing and making smoothies and things like that, so it's a good thing, as Martha Stewart used to say. And I'm excited about it. I'm really excited to be losing weight, first of all, and I'm just excited to really begin to let go some of the things that really, held me down, and started this journey of obesity that I have been on for most of my adult life. I would say that I really started gaining weight maybe around 1994, somewhere in there. I started gaining weight, and there are two reasons why I've gained weight, but the primary reason is I have a medical issue that caused me to gain weight. But then the fact of the matter is that I had other issues as well. And some of those issues stem with the fact that I was not happy with myself. I wasn't happy with myself. I wasn't happy with the religion I was in. I wasn't happy with my marriage. And all of those things caused me to continue to gain weight. On top of the medical reason, there were other reasons why I gained so much weight. And it's taken me a very long time to find myself. And I had to, as Jay-Z would say, I had to reintroduce myself to the world. And that shift began back in 2015. And so there was a lot of work that I had to do and that I am doing on myself, because I feel that it is very important to be healthy not just up here, but down here. So while I was doing the work on what's going on up here, I'm also doing the work on what's going on below my neck. But we all know that what happens above our neck has a lot to do with what happens below the neck. So I've been working on myself. It's an evolution. And I had to ask myself some really difficult questions. And, one of those questions, was, why do I dislike myself so much? Who in my life told me that I wasn't worthy? And why did I believe that? And why do I still subconsciously believe it? That's why it's so important, if you are a parent, to love on your children and to tell your children, constantly remind your children that they are special, that they are gifted. If there's something that they do and they do it well, support it. If they have any dreams or hopes or aspirations to support it. And don't let anyone or anything or anybody, any entity, any organization tell them that they cannot pursue their dreams and be who they really are. Because when we do that, what we do is we stifle our children. We stifle them. We stifle their authentic selves. And it becomes harder and harder each year of their life to get out here, get up from under the negativity that we as parents put upon them, our children. And by the time they have found themselves and got themselves together, they've already done tons of damage to themselves, damage to others, damage to boyfriends, husbands, sisters, wives, children. We have to support our children. If your children wants to be a baseball player, let them be a baseball player. Your child wants to be a basketball player, let them be a basketball player. Your child wants to grow to be a painter, let them be a painter. Your child wants to grow to be a singer, support them in singing. Okay? Support them. If it's anything that your children want to do, you help them do it. Because my issue is that religiosity kept me from being the person that I wanted to be. Growing up a Jehovah's Witness, that kept me from being the person that I was supposed to be. So here I am. I'm a middle-aged woman now, and I'm out here. Well, let me change that mind. Let me shift things a little bit. I am where I am supposed to be. You see the work that I'm doing? Stop blaming other people. Now you have the opportunity now. Grab it and run. But I'm not bitter. I used to be bitter. There was one time I really wanted to have a channel on YouTube or have a blog where I just blasted, growing up as a Jehovah's Witness. I did. Blasted because I was hurt. And the reason I was hurt because this religion, not my parents, this religion kept me or restricted my creativity, restricted who I was supposed to become authentically. That's what the religion did to me. And there are so many former Jehovah's Witnesses who grew up in the organization who feel the same way, have the same story. The exact same story. But the thing is that I learned from it. and I'm moving on. Right? Right. I learned from it and I'm moving on. And that's all you can do. I'm going to eat another piece of this banana. That's all you can do. You notice that the bananas today are just super big? Why are they so big? I don't even understand that. I mean, when you sit back and you watch documentaries of different places like Ghana or Jamaica or Hawaii, places like that where bananas grow, Brazil. I mean, those bananas don't be that big. I mean, these bananas are huge. But yeah, when I was an active Jehovah's Witness doing all this crocheting and chatting with you right now, girl, I would not have time for that. I would not have time to indulge in things like this. Tiny studio, are you kidding? I don't have the time. I don't have the time to be sitting in a tiny studio making jewelry, designing jewelry and afghans and having a life. I would be too busy trying to figure out what's going on in the watchtower, trying to keep up with that, trying to go to the Kingdom Hall, trying to have some Bible studies, trying to indoctrinate my children. That's what I'd be doing. But now when I get up on a Saturday morning, I can watch the Super Friends in peace. And you may be like, Nell, what are you talking about? Yes. When I was a kid, sure. Come on now. I rarely got to stay home on Saturday mornings. I was outside knocking on people's doors. Okay? But sure. Now I play catch up on Saturday mornings. I catch up on all the cartoons and the cartoon episodes that I missed. That's what I do. And listen, I'm not knocking anybody that wants to raise their children in whatever religion that they choose to raise their children in, because parents, you have that responsibility to raise your children, and part of raising your children is also giving them or teaching them about the universe, about God, about the Creator. If you believe in that, and there's nothing wrong with it. The only thing that I have a problem with is when religion begins to tell you that they will do all the thinking for you. That's where I have a problem at. Where religions begin to tell you that you can't use critical thinking skills. When religions begin to tell you that you can't question shit. When a religion tells you that you can't question something and something doesn't make sense to you, and they tell you just pray on it, something's wrong. So unfortunately, I always had doubts about being a Jehovah's Witness. And my mother would tell you that I wasn't the person that was supposed to become a Jehovah's Witness, but I did anyway, because it was like all of my friends were baptized, and so I got baptized too. But my mother would tell you, no, Nell, I don't think she really wants to do this. This might not be her thing. This might not be her jam. And that's kind of what happened, because all of my friends were getting baptized, and If you want to date somebody, you had to be baptized, and you know, and you can't, and the thing is, you can't just date today. You got to date with the idea that you're gonna marry this person that you're dating. It was a whole thing going. It was a whole thing. What in the world did 18-year-old Tracy or 18-year-old Nell know about being married to anybody at 18 years old? That's dumb. But that's how it went down. And all of my friends got baptized, and so did I. I'm trying to think, except one. One of my friends did not get baptized. She wanted to, but she didn't. I had to ask her what had happened. And she almost got baptized again when we were adults, but she didn't. I need to ask her what the deal was on that, because she was raised as a Jehovah's Witness too. I have two friends that didn't get baptized. Maybe I should have followed them instead of looking at these other people's. Well, I know one of my friends went to college, and college was a bad thing. So when she got accepted at Wayne State University and went on, I guess that's where our paths split. Because that was like a bad thing. But her mother was a Jehovah's Witness and her dad wasn't. So, I feel like kids that grew up in those type of households, well, people used to say, "Oh, how terrible that is! Oh, your husband or your wife is not a witness. Oh, I feel so sorry for you." Nowadays I'm like, ooh, that's great, because that gives your child some type of balance. That allows your child to get a chance to know what the world really is all about. That gives them a balanced viewpoint of what it means to be a Jehovah's Witness and what it means to not be a Jehovah's Witness. And I think all children should have a choice. All children should grow up to become adults and have a choice of whether or not they want to join a religion. You shouldn't be forced into a religion. You shouldn't be threatened into a religion. You shouldn't be coerced into a religion. You shouldn't be any of those things. You shouldn't. Especially when you're a child. No child should be forced to make big decisions like that. And then when they screw up or make a mistake in life and they get disfellowshipped, you, the parent, turn your back on them and don't talk to them anymore. You shun them. But you were also the same person who basically coerced and forced your child into the religion. So when they screw up, you're going to punish them too by not talking to them. That's so dumb. That is so dumb. I can understand you can kick somebody out the religion, kick somebody out your club because they're not following the rules. I understand that. But why would you then tell all the other people in the club not to talk to them? That's like, that's like these sororities, like the AKAs or the Deltas, or the Alphas, which is a fraternity. It's like one of those groups. Just because you are inactive or you're not, just because you got kicked out of the group, kicked out of the sorority or kicked out of fraternity, does that mean that the people or the friends that you made and the connections that was established, does that mean that all of them have to turn their back on you, that you can't talk to them anymore? I don't know any other organization that does some mess like that, except I know Jehovah's Witnesses do it. I know Scientologists do it. I know that there are some I want to say the Mormons. I already say the Mormons. The Mormons. Some Mormons do it. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, even the Bible doesn't say that God is going to turn his back on you. The Bible say that God is always there. But these organizations say, yeah, he can be there, but we ain't. And I guess they fear that if you leave the organization, that you're going to say some bad things about them. And they just don't want you to say bad things about them. They don't want you to say any bad things about them that might precipitate a huge exodus. That doesn't make any sense. That makes no sense. Because we're all free-thinking people. So just because I tell you that strawberry ice cream tastes nasty, which to me strawberry ice cream does taste nasty, that don't mean that I should tell you, don't eat those. You better not eat no strawberry ice cream. You better not even look at some strawberry ice cream. If I see you looking at a case of strawberries, I'm going to stop talking to you. I mean, think about it. Does that make any sense? No, that doesn't make any sense at all. What kind of sense does that make? That don't make any sense. But that's what, that's the religion I was in. And hey, it happened to me too. I got this fellowship. And my family stopped talking to me. I turned into the boogeyman of my family. Ooh, don't talk to Tracy. She's evil. She's a sinner. I wasn't a sinner. Okay, I was a sinner. But I mean, I had a baby. I wasn't married. Okay. I was having sex. I had boyfriends. Okay. And I wasn't married to them. So, okay, I was a sinner. Damn it. But dang, come on now. You gonna stop talking to me? What would the world be like if everybody stopped talking to everyone that's sin? So it would be perpetual silence. The only thing we would hear is nature. Nature would be the only things that would be communicating out here in this world if we did stuff like that. But I really think that the reason why a lot of religions practice shunning is because, they just don't want disgruntled members or disgruntled former members to influence the people who come and worship with them. Because maybe, just maybe, those disgruntled people have some good points to make. Maybe those disgruntled people have, maybe these disgruntled former members, maybe they have a genuine reason to be disgruntled. Maybe they have an actual reason for being an apostate. I don't know. But when I got this fellowship, I was expecting it. But, I mean, really though, I was expecting it, but damn, why my own mother gotta stop talking to me? That still don't make no sense to me. I'm a grown woman. I'm a grown woman now. I have my own children. And that was one of the things I said I was not going to do. I was not going to stop talking to my children if they got the scholarship, because that don't make no sense. It doesn't make sense. Why would I stop talking to the child I gave birth to? You know, why? Why would I turn my back on my own offspring? I'm the one that brought them in this world. Now I'm going to abandon them because they did something wrong in an organization. They broke some rules, and now I'm going to stop talking to them. That's so ass backwards. I don't care what nobody say. It's ass backward. And then on top of that, you're going to say, well, the Bible told me to do so. No, it didn't. No, it did not. That's somebody's interpretation of the Bible that they use to their benefit to tell you to not talk to your son ever again in life. And because they have decided to do all your thinking for you, and you can't do any thinking for yourself, you are the big dummy for doing it. You are still the big dummy for letting somebody that you ain't never met, who don't pay any of your bills, that did not even help you raise your child, they don't know your child from anybody. You are a big dummy for letting that person tell you to stop talking to your child because your child's a sinner. See, that could not be me, and that's not going to be me. When I think about that time in my life, I think about how I felt. It wasn't like my parents and I had the most fantastical relationship anyway. You know, it wasn't like that either. It's just the fact that, if I want to say, hey, mommy, what's up? My mommy going to be like, Nell? No, she'll be like, who this? Who this? It's me, Ma. It's me, Nell. Who? I don't know any Nell. Click. I mean, I'm making jokes about it right now, but I mean, I'm trying to tell you, it wasn't funny then. But what can I say? I survived it. But you know, what it taught me is that I'm not going to do other people that way. I'm not going to treat other people like that. That's what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to do my children like that. I'm not going to treat my friends like that. If you're my friend and we cool and you get this fellowship, I'm still talking to you. You get disassociated, I'm still talking to you. That's me. Because I don't believe in that. I have my own value system. And my value system is not dictated by any group of people. My value system is not dictated by what other people say. My value system comes from my own experiences and how I feel about life. And yours should too. So here we are. We are almost at an hour of yakking and crocheting, which is so cool. I forgot to ask you, did you bring something? Are you working on something? Did you bring something to crochet and listen to me chat today? I made an error in this on this Afghan that I didn't pick up until I made the first row of the whipped cream or marshmallows, and I noticed it, and it was like there was a cluster of crochet, a double crochet cluster, that instead of having three, a cluster of three, it only has a cluster of two. Lord help me. So, I was not going to go back and frog all of that yarn just because there was a crochet cluster that only had 2 double crochets within it. I said, oh no, I'm not doing that. And whoever this Afghan is gifted to, or one of my customers decide that this is the Afghan for them, they're not going to notice it either unless they watch this video. They're not going to know. And it probably happened because I was busy doing something else. I was probably busy helping my husband, and I wanted to just debrief for a minute. And it could be that, or also could be I was just moving a little too fast and watching something. Watching maybe some videos on YouTube, or watching the Golden Girls or something. Or maybe I was watching the Golden Girls and started laughing and took my eye off the prize. All I know, let me show you what I'm talking about. And it appears I did it twice. It's something funny going on right here. Let me show you. Okay. So here it is, right in there. So it looks like, let me see, it looks like here's a double crochet, here's something that looks like a double crochet, and then in this space it's just 1 crochet. You see that? So now that I think about it, that was a mistake I made. I split the cluster. That's what happened. I split the cluster. Yeah, probably talking, probably laughing, probably watching TV. Well, you know what? I want to say thank you for hanging out here in the tiny studio with me. I really appreciate it. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. You can catch my blog. I'm gonna put a link in the description box with the link to my blog, Simply Nell's Tiny Studio. You can also follow my business page, which is Blue Lotus Hill Designs, on Instagram and on Facebook. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And guess what? If you are a frequent guest here in the Tiny Studio, I have some exciting news, and I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. All I'm going to say that if you've been following my Coach Adventures, my Vintage Coach Adventures here in the studio, then I am about to be super excited up here in the Tiny Studio, and maybe I want to say not this week coming up, but next week, because I have a package that's getting ready to come, and it should arrive, and then I am just so super excited to show you what's in it. Can you guess? And if I am this excited, then you know it's got to be something good, child. Something that I really want. So you'll just have to come back and join me in the Tiny Studio for that. But I do want to thank you. I want to thank all of my subscribers. Thank you so much. And thank you for being patient with me. I really appreciate it. So this has been Chatting with Nell, and I will talk to you next time here in the Tiny Studio. Continue to have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.